Hello and welcome to another episode of Har Gal with Haryal. Today we have a very special guest with us who's very relevant to the times that we are in today. Please welcome Dr. Vedant Murke, a close school friend of
Thank
mine.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you
अगर
so much
हमारे
for having me here, Mihir.
first man, I think more than the rest of the people, I really want to show this video to all the people at Gyanmata. जिनको लगता था कि स्कूल में हमारा बहुत झगड़ा चलता है, but that is not the case. That is not the
In
case.
fact, we have been best of very good of friends after that.
हाँ बेस्ट बोल सकते हैं यार. आई मीन वी बीन वेरी चमी काफी कंसिडरिंग कि हम लोग अलग अलग सिटीज में रह रहे थे और इतने सालों बाद मिले. वी हैड रियली गुड टाइम्स
Yeah,
टुगेदर.
right.
So people from Gyanmata in Amravati, if you're watching this, Vedant and I have made peace and we are very good friends now. And Vedant, first of all, dude, I'm very proud of the things that you're doing today. You were
Yeah.
actually you are a frontline doctor, and you have been uh, treating COVID patients despite your specialization being uh, towards you're an ophthalmologist, right?
Yes.
So, let's start with that, right? Say March 2020 के आसपास, when COVID was suddenly booming in India
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things were becoming difficult for doctors. How were things like for you guys? Like, how did the news break to you as doctors, and what were the first steps that you guys took?
So basically, WHO announced that it's a pandemic, right? And everything changed after that. So, and the cases were on the rise. The first wave was hit India the last year, of course, March 2020. We were final year residents at that point of time. We were supposed to sit for the examination. But since India was in pandemic, our examination got postponed and everything. And we were recruited to serve as what we respectfully uh, are called as of now, frontline warriors to treat the COVID patients. Now, basically, as ophthalmologists, we managed the patient at a very basic level. But the main load was the residents of medicine, chest physicians, that is respiratory medicine, and anesthetists. Now, these were the actual frontline warriors. We were, you can say, subordinates to them. But yes, we did participate in the war. And it was dreadful. It was dreadful to see so many patients come up suddenly, get admitted. 3-4% of the admissions succumbing to death, and we couldn't do anything because this was a new virus. No one knew nothing about it, and no one could do not much anything about it. The only thing we had was treat them symptomatically, make sure that their O2 levels are maintained, make sure that the inflammation is controlled, and somehow tide them over this virus infection over the next 14-15 days and then discharge them. So that was it.
Right. So it's very interesting that you use this number, right? 3 to 4%, and I
Right.
see a lot of. I mean, this number gets thrown around a lot in media, right? And I don't intend to make this political, and I know neither do you. But I just want to
Right.
understand that if for a 3 to 4% mortality rate,
Right.
is it too much for a disease, or like
So
what
basically, when you
exactly is the.
see, it was, to be precise, it was 3.4% in March, April 2020. So it does not look much when you look at the percentage. But if you consider the population in total, and since it has affected a number of people, it's so rampant. So the deaths in number increases, but in percent, it looks like it's only 3-4%, so not a big deal. But when you see at the numbers, considering the total population of the world, or in fact India also, which is 135 to 135 crore, yeah. So it's a huge number, and many people are being affected. So many people are dying. So that's why it goes up.
Right, right. So, the first question that I have for you, in terms of your COVID experiences, what was the kind of hygiene that you guys would maintain when you were going out and being directly in touch with COVID patients?
Right. So for our protection, the most important was a PPE, that is personal protective equipments. We used to don them. So first we used to don our hospital clothes, which we call as scrubs. Then we used to
Right.
don a gown, cloth gown, mask, and a cap. And above that, we used to wear N95 mask and don a PPE kit along with goggles and face shield. So there was a lot of stacking, which helped us prevent ourselves to be in direct contact with the virus. And after that, of course, we used to discard all those clothes. And the clothes which we wore to the duty, we used to come back, have a bath, and immediately wash them off. And regularly sanitize our hands also with sanitizer when at work, over gloves, obviously.
So, glove, you used to sanitize the gloves also.
Yeah. We used to
Okay.
sanitize the gloves also with this.
So are you saying that you guys have been wearing two masks since then, like since the last year only? All doctors?
Yeah, everybody.
So, for doctors, then, I mean, in terms of the hygiene that doctors have to maintain,
Right.
what has changed since last year to now? Like, आप
No,
लोग
no,
अभी
nothing.
कैसे
It's
अभी
it's the
कैसे
same. It's the same.
it's exactly because yeah, because you have been wearing two masks since last year only. So,
Yes,
uh,
yes.
what about okay? So common mask issues, right? What about the breathing problems that many guys quote?
That was really one of the big issues because we had duties for like 7 to 8 hours at a stretch. We were not allowed to
Right.
eat anything. We were not allowed to drink anything. We were not allowed to use the washrooms. Nothing as such. So 7 to 8 hours. Hydrate yourself before the duty. Just go there, work for 7 to 8 hours, sweat the shit out, and then come out, then eat and do whatever you want. But 7 to 8 hours, it was very tough. And like hats off to my colleagues and every senior and junior who is still serving and making COVID patients fight for their lives and recovering them. It's a big deal, really.
Right. And now, Vedant, with COVID, there is this another term, another disease called the black fungus, which has suddenly come up, right? And
Right.
black fungus, if I remember correctly, like we discussed in our last conversation,
Right.
it is something to do with the eye, right? The black fungus.
So basically, it's fungus. Fungus,
Okay.
we everyone know. And fungus is basically a group of organisms. They are neither plants, they are not animals. It's a distinct group of organisms. There are total around 144,000 species of fungus in this world, of which few of them are pathogenic. Pathogenic means they'll affect the humans, right?
Okay.
One of them is black fungus. Now, why is this black fungus making so much of noise? Is it was a very rare disease before, but now it's on the increase and it's very fatal if not taken care of in its early stages. So, and it's more now in COVID patients. So that's why the big deal. In fact, Maharashtra today, as we are recording this, I think it's 25th of May, it has declared black fungus as an epidemic. So Rajasthan and Maharashtra has declared it as an epidemic. Telangana has declared it as a notifiable disease. So yeah, it's really rampant as of now. Okay.
Is black fungus a new thing, or has it always been around?
So black fungus is a disease which has been since a long time. It's historically an old disease, but what has happened is its number has increased at this point of time, and it has increased so much that Maharashtra government and Rajasthan government has declared it as an epidemic. It has become a notifiable disease in Telangana as well. So that's how big the black fungus disorder has increased as of now.
वैसे you mentioned epidemic and notifiable disease. उन दोनों में कोई difference होता है क्या?
Yeah, epidemic is a disease which is on a mass scale, which is affecting huge number of population, and the task force which the government will now enroll to control it will be at a much what do you say
Bigger
much
scale.
intense, bigger scale. So it will be
Right.
controlled at a war level. Notifiable disease is where the disease is declared as notifiable so that government can keep record of it. Epidemic diseases automatically record हो ही जाता है.
Okay, so epidemic is like say level 10 and notifiable would be like a level 7
Yeah.
or 6.
So statistically, there are definitions for the same. I might not be able to really address it at this point of time.
चल कोई नहीं. We'll take
Yeah.
that in a later segment maybe. कि क्या किया जाए
Yeah.
जब डॉक्टर बनना चाहते हो. We'll do a separate video on that.
Sure,
Right.
sure, sure.
So anyway, so let's talk about black fungus here. Why is suddenly black fungus rising so much?
Okay, so I know the background of fungal infections for this. So
Mhm.
fungus is a different category of living organisms. They are neither plants nor animals. So
Right.
zoologically, they are just different category, and they're present all around the world, all around us also. So we name it as ubiquitous, which precisely means that they're present everywhere. Now there are around 1,44,000 species of fungi in the entire world, of which few of them infect humans, and they are therefore known as pathogenic fungus. Okay.
Okay.
So now these fungi are also a part of our body. Some fungi are a part of our lining in the mouth, nose, and even in the stomach, esophagus, and gastrointestinal tract. But they
Right.
normally do not cause infection. Okay. Coming to black fungus. Black fungus was a very rare disorder earlier. It was, we read about it in the undergraduate during our MBBS times. In my postgraduate times, I saw hardly 3 to 4 cases in 3 years, right? But now it's on the rise, and most commonly the factor which is responsible for it is the COVID infection. So it is very common in people who have gotten COVID and have recovered from it as well.
So what's so special about people who are recovering from COVID? Why is black fungus? I mean, why are they more prone to black fungus then?
Okay, so fungal infections will occur when your immunity is low.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they are known as
Right.
opportunistic infection. Whenever they see an opportunity to infect a human being, they'll just pounce over you and cause you the infection. Okay, so normally might be some fungus is present in my mouth lining, in my nasal lining, but I'm not being infected because I have a strong immune system. My body's defense mechanism is very nice. It's fighting the fungus and it's not allowing it to grow at all. But what
Right.
happens in COVID? Number one factor is there is a lot of inflammation which causes a decrease in your immunity. So immunity falls drastically. Number one. Number two factor is you are if you have a serious COVID infection. Okay.
Mhm.
So doctors land up giving you steroids.
Okay.
The main role of steroids is to control the inflammation. Inflammation is the major factor in COVID which leads to death of patient in serious cases. Because due to inflammation, a person lands up in what you call as cytokine storm. Storm of cytokines means there's a storm of inflammation in the entire body, which might lead to multi-organ failure. All the organs might fail and the patient might die. Now, to prevent this,
Okay.
doctor will introduce drugs like steroids or higher drugs like remdesivir and tocilizumab.
To see what?
Tocilizumab. So these are the new drugs which
pronounce ही नहीं कर पाया वो वाला फिर मैं कभी.
right. So basically these drugs are used to control the inflammation, but their side effect is they'll reduce your immunity. Right?
Okay.
So immunity कम हो रहा है, your steroid use बढ़ रहा है जिससे immunity कम हो रहा है, and secondly steroid से sugar levels increase. Now, if any organism has sufficient amount of sugar, it will thrive well.
Right.
It will have a lot of substance to eat, grow, spread. Right? So it will have more energy, as you said. So it will spread rapidly. So due to all these factors, the risk of black fungus infections increases in patients who have recovered from severe COVID infections and have specially received all these drugs. And that's why it's increasing now. So that means is black fungus as communicable as conjunctivitis? No. It's not a contagious disease. First of all, I want to clear that. It's not a contagious disease. It's an opportunistic infection which will pounce over you if you have a low immunity and other factors. Now, other factors includes high sugar level. If you are diabetic, if your diabetes is not controlled, if you are a patient of cancer, if you have blood cancers, if you have if you are a patient on immunosuppressants means the drugs which reduce your immunity, which is given in cases of organ transplantation, right? In stem cell transplantation, in bone marrow transplantation, all these cases. एंड इफ यू आर
Right.
malnourished, अगर आपका न्यूट्रिशन ही अच्छा नहीं है तो इम्यूनिटी नेचुरली आपका कम हो जाएगा, राइट?
Right.
And also in cases where your blood iron levels are in excess, because excess iron is again a good nutrient for the fungus, and again it will thrive better in your body and cause you infection. So these are all the factors which can cause black fungus, increases the risk of black fungus infection.
Okay. So, so Vedant, is it to say that, say if somebody is suffering from COVID, right? And a lot of people
Okay.
today, unfortunately, in our even in our first degree networks, the people who we have known are suffering from COVID. Uh, is it advisable then that they should probably not be eating substances which could increase the level of sugar in their body? Like, will that play an effect in them being safer from black fungus?
So I would say infection of black fungus is more common in patients who have recovered from severe disorders, right? Severe COVID disorders. What do I mean by severe is they were admitted in ICU, intensive care units. They were maybe unfortunately intubated, that is वो pipe डाल के ventilator जब लगाते हैं, right? Or they might have received higher drugs like remdesivir and tocilizumab, what I said. So if they have recovered from such serious infections and they are fortunate enough, so they should be careful about their blood sugar levels. More than eating sweet or something, you can eat, but if your sugar levels are in normal range, the risk of black fungus infection drastically reduces. So it's advisable that even after you are discharged from the hospital after a COVID infection, and if you have received steroids and higher drugs, you should monitor your blood glucose level regular at home using glucometer.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the other variants that have also started coming up, right? Of late,
Yeah.
we've been hearing about the white fungus and the yellow fungus. What
Right.
about them? Like, do they have a similar fungus profile as black fungus?
See, white fungus is a very common infection. It's just why do we give this name? Because black fungus, it's easy for the common man to understand. Scientifically,
Right.
it's known as mucormycosis, which is tough to remember for the common
Right.
people. So black fungus is easier. Then we come to white fungus again. Now, white fungus has been very common. Whatever you must have seen cases where there is ringworm type infections, where there are rings in the neck, in the groin,
Right.
where over the genital areas of men and women who are not hygienic enough. These are all white fungus most commonly. They have
Okay.
another names like Candida, Aspergillus. But again, this is not easy to remember, so we name it as white fungus. So white fungus is a
वो जो दांत खाज खुजली होता है वो white fungus होता है?
Exact. Yeah, most of the cases, many of the cases.
Okay.
Right? So it has also been in the history since long. But then again, for people to understand it easier way, white fungus has been named. Okay. So white fungus is not very dreadful. Black fungus is very much dreadful. That is what we need to worry about. As regards to yellow fungus, yellow fungus, only one case has been reported. We don't have much data about it. It was an internal infection of the GI tract of a man in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. So only one fungus has been reported till date. But black fungus is something we need to worry about more than white and yellow fungus.
From what I remember, you've actually treated a black fungus patient, right?
Unfortunately, I have not treated one. You can say treated, but the treatment was very intensive. It was very devastating for the patient. How, I'll tell you, because black fungus starts infecting your sinuses first, nose,
sinuses,
and then
the nasal tract. Okay.
Nasal passage, sinuses, even the gums, right? And if it is not controlled, it goes up. Up, it will go into the eye. If still not controlled, up, it will go into the brain.
Okay.
Right? So the cases I have seen, the cases we have tackled as a team during my post-graduation is where the eyes were involved. Being a specialist of the eye, we were called in when eye was involved. So in such cases, it's very dreadful. It's very sad to treat such patients because you have to remove the entire eye and the contents in this part of the face, which is disfiguring, and it's very it's very dreadful for the patient as well.
Right. So, okay, let's address some black fungus myths right off the bat, right? ये जो
Sure.
there are a lot of these Reddit communities and these medical communities, Telegram groups where people keep on asking each other about these things, right? So,
Yeah.
I'll tell you some common messages that I've seen, which I'm not sure what the right answer to is, right? The
Okay.
first one is that somebody said uh, that I am not COVID positive. I might be,
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I have a, so I've stayed at home, uh, and I don't think I'm COVID positive, but पिछले कुछ दिनों से मेरी आंखों में बहुत severe itching हो रही है, and I have
Right.
trouble opening my eyes in the morning. Could I have
Right.
black fungus?
That's a very vague symptom. That's nothing. I mean, not even close to one of the symptoms which caters to, which will point towards black fungus. It's a very vague symptom. Itching and difficulty in opening eye is not one of the symptoms. In fact, there are others which I will enumerate ahead.
You could do. Let's do that right now, right? Let's understand.
Okay. Yeah. So what happens is, as I said, it starts from this area of your face. There are 5 types of black fungus infection. First of all, let me address that. First of all, you can have a black fungus infection of the skin. If for example, you got a cut,
Okay.
and you fell off your bike or on the road and you fell on the soil, and there were spores of fungus in the soil which got into your body through the cut. They might grow there, cause ulcers and blisters. So it is cutaneous type of mucormycosis or black fungus infection.
Cutaneous means on the skin, like on the outside.
On the skin. On the skin, right? Rare type. Again, you can have infections which can go directly into the lung. So these are known as pulmonary, which will affect the lung, right? The third type, which is very, very
Pulmonary
common, is
sorry. Pulmonary means the one which can move around, right? Pulmonary moving
no,
around.
pulmonary means affecting the lungs.
Acha. Okay.
Right.
Affecting the lungs.
Yeah. Next type is you can affect your sinuses, nose, eyes, as well as your brain. So it's known as rhino-orbitocerebral. So this is the most common type, most dreadful type.
Acha.
Most dangerous. And this is what we see in post-COVID patients most commonly.
Right.
The fourth type is when it affects your gastrointestinal tract, your esophagus, stomach, and intestine. And the fifth type is where it spreads in your entire body. That is very rare, but if it happens, it's almost death.
Have there been such cases reported in India so far?
Yeah, obviously. That's why we have categorized them into these 5 types.
Okay. So now another point that I heard was that I don't know the technical terms. You probably could help me voice my words better. But so there is like this lesser severity of COVID and a greater severity of COVID as well, right?
Right.
So say some people were talking about the ones who have, and these are people that I work with, right? Who probably just take a couple of days off and then resume back work because they say हमको बहुत asymptomatic COVID हो रहा है. आपको ऐसे feel नहीं होता कि ज़्यादा कुछ बीमारी हो रही तो might as well work. And अगर कुछ होगा then we'll take an off. And अब उन लोगों को एक फीलिंग ऑफ थोड़ा सा ब्लैक फंगस इनविंसिबिलिटी भी आ रही, को लग रहा है हमको इतना सीवियर कोविड तो हुआ ही नहीं, तो हमको ब्लैक फंगस हो ही नहीं सकता. Is that something which could be true?
See, we'll never say कि आपको हो ही नहीं सकता है. Never ever any doctor will tell you कि आपको हो ही नहीं सकता है. Because at any point of time आपका immune system कम हो सकता है. You can be lacking in hygiene, and your sugar levels might go up and down, maybe due to drugs or if you're a diabetic patient. So all these factors, if they come into play, and if you come in contact with black fungus, obviously you will get the infection. So never ever any doctor, even myself, will ever tell you कि आपको हो ही नहीं सकता है. Obviously हो सकता है, but अगर आपको severe COVID नहीं हुआ है तो chances बहुत कम है.
Okay. And when we talk about hygiene, are we talking about नहाना धोना, brush करना, वही सब चीजें, or like other some special things to take care of?
No. There is hand hygiene, which is the most important, and oral hygiene, which you talked about, like brush karna, gargles karna regularly, right? And
Right.
then hand washing, which is very important again.
Okay.
So
There are
this,
also some, speaking of oral hygiene, like I just want your opinion on this. Uh, there
right?
are some products that we see in the market, right, which are sort of like digestible sanitizers. जो
Yeah. I
मुंह के
did
अंदर,
come across them.
right? So, what exactly, like, what's the deal with those? Like, are they effective? Are they unnecessary?
No, no
Uh, uh,
studies, but no studies on them yet, but no harm as well. You can use them.
okay. Because my apprehension here was that again, Rediff communities and such
Yeah,
rumors that that because there are like good bacteria in the mouth as well. If you take
yeah,
these sanitizers, then those good bacteria might get killed again.
yeah.
So,
Excessive use might really kill them. And if you're killing the good bacteria, which are known as commensals, so what happens if you have good bacteria in your mouth, in your nose? So they compete with the bad bacteria and don't allow them to grow, even bad fungi, right?
okay,
Now, what happens if your good bacteria is going down, if the levels are going down, if the number is going down, the bad bacteria and the bad fungi will go up and will cause infections and other problems. So, yes, excessive use should be avoided, but no harm in using them.
excessive would be like more than one cap or like
Excessive
10
use,
ml.
excessive use is you're using it like 7, 8 times a day. Maximum 3 times, it's okay. The mouth wash what you're using. Three to
Right.
four times, more than sufficient. More than sufficient.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Uh, and is it to assume that, by the way, I mean, not trying to judge the people, and like all my deepest sympathies with the ones uh, that have contracted the black fungus and similar fungi. But do you think a main reason for them to contract the fungus was their hygiene standards, or are there other sources which contribute to it as well?
You're talking of patients who have recovered from COVID, right?
Yeah, patients who've recovered from COVID but who've got black fungus. So was hygiene probably the
Yeah.
main reason why they got it, or could they have?
No, the main reason, as per studies, the studies which have come up, the main factor which is responsible for black fungus post COVID in patients is because of uncontrolled blood sugar.
Okay. And
Yeah,
uncontrolled blood
uncontrolled
sugar,
blood sugar.
again, stimulated from the treatment. So,
Yeah,
so
steroids.
right. So it's not primarily the patient's fault in that case.
Patient's fault is patient is not paying attention to the symptoms. If he's
Okay.
reporting late,
Right.
patient
Right.
is not being hygienic on his part. Patient
Right.
is not monitoring his blood sugar levels,
Right.
right? So you can't blame it on anyone because those drugs are essential to save your life,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right? So those drugs are essential to save your life. And this is the responsibility of the patient to take care of himself, to see for the symptoms, to report to the
Right.
doctor immediately and get treated.
Right.
So it's a two-way
Right.
street.
Absolutely. Thanks for putting that across, right? Because a lot of flack of late has been coming on doctors, right? We have been seeing these reports, and again, like, I don't intend to get political with this, but we've been seeing reports of how certain hospitals or clinics have been ransacked with political power, with the local
Yeah,
politicians, and uh,
that's
because
that's very sad because it's very disheartening for anyone who is working day and night to save someone's life and
right,
being thrashed by people who don't even understand a of allopathy.
right, right. So I mean, yeah. So I think that's a good message as well, right? To note that uh, no matter what stage you are in, for example, somebody like myself who has the luxury of working from home, even I should be constantly monitoring my daily vitals. And probably somebody
Yeah,
who is suffering from COVID or has just recovered, they should be again continuously be monitoring their body vitals as well, right?
yeah. Not
It,
obsessively. If you're fine, you can do it
it,
twice a day. That's more than enough.
So I read this. I mean, I heard this from this friend of mine is who is I mean, he works for a medical testing firm. So he said that
Right.
it's a good habit to probably after you've recovered from COVID, maybe in a month or so, you should get a full body checkup done just to understand exactly what all things have changed in your body. And such checkups are not very expensive these days as well because they're happening in bulk.
Right.
So,
Right.
as a doctor, do you think it's a good habit, or again, is that getting very, very obsessive about this?
I don't think a full body checkup is needed because COVID will affect your lungs mainly and few of your blood parameters. So, in spite of going for a full body checkup, go to a physician, tell him how your course of COVID has been, which all drugs you received, how do you feel as of now, and depending
Right.
on that, he will advise some specific tests instead of going for all the tests, burning so much of your pocket also. So it's advisable to get to a physician, MD medicine or chest physician, and then go for your test, whatever he suggests.
Right. Uh, Outside of this, I mean, let's start going a little outside of COVID as well, because we've been talking a little too much
Sure.
about this, right? Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
now specialists like yourself, right, who are not directly involved with medicine or surgery as at this moment, how is
right.
COVID affecting your lives? Uh,
Our
have
lives,
there been, yeah, as in, like, now that uh, if say an obstetrician or an ophthalmologist or a gynecologist, uh, are other people who are not direct, or dermatologists, right? People who are not directly involved in
right,
the treatment of COVID. Uh,
right, right,
how
right.
how much has the profession changed for them in the recent few months?
So basically, as an ophthalmologist,
Mhm.
ophthalmologists are involved more in elective surgeries. What I mean by elective surgeries are non-emergency cases,
Right,
like cataract being the most common surgery an ophthalmologist will ever do in his life. So cataract
right,
is no emergency except for a few cases. So obviously people opting for the same has declined. So patients turning up for cataract surgeries have declined. Other elective surgeries for an eye surgeon has also come down, like LASIK for spectacle correction.
right,
Other surgeries, they have also come. So all the elective surgeries, whether be it for a dermatologist who go for dermatosurgeries, whether be it for an ophthalmologist, whether be it for an ENT surgeon, whether be it for
right.
a general surgeon, anyone who is practicing elective surgeries, it has drastically gone down. Emergency cases, road traffic accidents have decreased because people are not moving out.
Thankfully.
Yeah, people are not moving out. So accidents, fractures, everything they have decreased a lot, which is good on one hand, but then economy is being hit on the other. So
Uh, that's true as well. Right. And just like in general, there have been a lot of these wellness coaches on Instagram and YouTube, uh,
yeah,
and
yeah,
a lot of these feature on our prominent national television channels as well, who are continuously
right,
asking you guys to keep exercising, to eat right,
right,
to have to
right,
have haldi doodh every day, and things like that.
right.
Uh, how obsessively or compulsively should somebody follow this, and what would be a sustainable way to just protect themselves from COVID,
Just I would suggest just be healthy, mentally, physically, and if you can, spiritually and emotionally.
Right,
So you should address all these four domains, and
right,
mentally is not taking a lot of stress, being happy with what you have, obviously aiming for more in your life. Physically is exercising, eating right, cutting down on junks, and cutting down on other habits like cigarettes, alcohol as well. And
right,
spiritual is a very subjective thing to address, but if you can address it, it's very good. Having emotional health is also very important because you feel contented with it. So taking care of all the four domains in moderate quantities daily will keep you fit. And what um, doctors prefer, what doctors define as being fit, is having a good body mass index, which we call as BMI. Around 25, 26, it's good. So I have a body mass index around 25, 26, and that's it.
right. uh, Now, for the people who probably go out, like there are some people that are obsessed with fitness, right?
Yeah,
Now when such fitness enthusiasts do not have access to a gym, many of them go out for runs, or they go out in public parks, or in their
right,
society parks and whatever. Uh,
right.
now the point which concerns me as a citizen is that many of them, when they're say going for a run and all, they take down their masks,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Which is unsafe both to them and to the people around them.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
so would you say prescribe any guideline for people who are say going to a public park where thankfully there are not a lot of people,
Uh,
but then what kind of guidelines can somebody follow when they are visiting these parks, probably touching the benches
See,
and all around?
yeah, like I don't think so much can be controlled, because if such strict guidelines were possible, government would have taken them out. And
Right.
controlling crowding is again difficult, especially in India with so much of population, so densely
Right.
populated country. So all I would say is keep sanitizing. If possible, keep wearing a mask. Follow social distancing if possible. It's a big ground. You can be alone distance by at least 1 meter around you. So that can be done. But I don't think any guidelines would work. Or
So
it. I think
if it's
it.
an so say it's an open park and you see nobody over there in the park, then would it be safe to take down your mask for a while if you're running around?
Or yeah, yeah. Obviously, I've done that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And say if you're touching any park benches or any of the equipments or poles or bars at the park, then like the moment you're done with that, just take a small sanitizer
Just
and then start it.
sanitize. Yes, sanitize
Right.
your hands.
Right. And
Stay
make sure that
clean. Avoid touching your face. That's more important.
right. Right. I think that that does make a difference.
Yeah,
ठीक है, I think we have a lot of answers to that,
yeah.
and even in terms of a diet, like you said, just maintain a healthy diet. Don't eat excessive food which will not help you maintain your BMI. So I think a good meter to understand what to eat, what not to eat probably could be कि BMI maintained रहना चाहिए. अगर
BMI
BMI
मेंटेन रहना चाहिए. 20 to 25 के बीच में is a very optimal range.
awesome, awesome. So Vedant, now that I have the opportunity to have you on camera and also talk to
Yeah,
you about everything medical, right? Yeah, मुझे
right.
कुछ doubt थे जो which have actually come up from Bollywood movies only. You know,
Okay.
Bollywood movies में कई बार वो ऐसे ऐसे instances बोलते हैं जो हमको समझ भी नहीं आते हैं कि वो कहना क्या चाह रहे
Hmm.
हैं. I just have like two three dialogues over here. The
Right.
first is like what do and let's just call this segment क्या कहना चाहते हो भाई. ठीक है. So
Okay.
अब
Okay.
इसमें एक चीज जो मुझे आपसे समझनी है कि बॉलीवुड डॉक्टर्स अक्सर कहते हैं हम पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं पर बाकी ऊपर वाले के हाथ में है. Now what
Right.
exactly would something like this mean to a real doctor when you hear something like this? What could it imply?
See, it's true somewhere down the tunnel,
Okay.
because what we are not gods. As doctor, we are not god. We
Right.
are just a mode to help you live better, live longer, with the help of modern science, which has developed so much, right? So we would try our best to the best of. No doctor ever in this country or ever in this world will want bad for his patient. That's an oath we take. That's an Hippocratic oath we take, right? So in the best of our capabilities, with the best of our resources, we'll try our best to save the patient, to do the best for the patient. But sometimes, now every patient is different, every human is different. उनका system अलग होता है. The way their system will function is different, right? So how
Right.
their system will respond to the treatment, how the patient will cope up with the treatment is very, very subjective. It's different for every individual on this earth, right? So
Right.
we'll do our best from our side. We'll go through all the protocols which are defined to treat any life-threatening disease. But if God forbid, if he or she does not make it up, वो ऊपर वाले के हाथ में.
अच्छा. ओके, दैट्स व्हाट दे मीन. अच्छा, ये भी बहुत लोग बोलते हैं, वो कहते हैं अभी आप पेशेंट से नहीं मिल सकते, उन्हें आराम की जरूरत है. So why
Yes.
why why do you restrict meeting a patient then as a doctor?
First of all, we don't want a psychological pressure on the patient, mental pressure on the patient, because if the patient is not well, seeing so many people around, he'll be tensed about his own health कि इतनी खराब है क्या कि इतने लोग मिलने आ गए. पहली बात ये भी हो सकता है. उस वजह
Right,
से
right.
somewhere your hormonal level might go up and down, your immunity will further go down. If you're not in good mood, your immunity does not work well. That's proven, right? That is one thing. Second thing, excess crowding. COVID has teached everyone that excess crowding will lead to more infections, transmission of
Right.
infections.
Right.
That we have to avoid, right? So these two are the main factors which we address. And secondly, in a hospital, it's an environment where it needs to be silence, it needs to be quiet, so we don't want much of noise also. That's the admin part, I think.
Okay. Yeah, but at least it makes sense. At least it helps us clarify what exactly the doctor is trying to say, right? Because Bollywood
Yeah,
में
yeah.
some many times they end up saying it out of context and uh, समझ ही नहीं आता वो कि करने की क्या कोशिश कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, that makes sense.
नहीं.
Now
Right.
Vedant, actually taking cue from our discussion so far, and because you helped us understand a lot of concepts pertaining to uh, the current pandemic, the recent epidemic of black fungus, uh, diseases like white fungus and yellow fungus,
Right.
also the things we could do to stay safe from all of this. Now with all of
Right.
that covered, I think this is a good opportunity to kind of document some definitions from you uh, in a sense
Okay.
that would appeal to the larger public as well. So इंडिया में as you know लोगों को movies सबसे अच्छे से समझाती है चीजें and
Obviously.
जब
We
तक
all love
Bollywood
movies.
we all love movies and like I mean because I know you personally I also know that you have a side to yourself that loves movies a little too much. So
Yeah.
let me try and tap into that, right? How about I give you some terms, phrases, or situations, and then maybe you could help me define that using Bollywood as a reference point. Probably a
ठीक
dialogue,
है.
some quote from a Bollywood movie, something, some instance. Like choose your pick.
Sure,
Just
sure.
go
We
crazy.
we'll try. I'll try my best. Let's see how it goes.
ठीक है, ठीक है. So let's start with this, right? How would you, using a Bollywood dialogue, how would you define black fungus?
Okay. So black fungus is the dawn of fungi. Once it affects your sinuses, it crosses your or these orbital plates and enters your eyes and brain, then उसको पकड़ना मुश्किल ही नहीं नामुमकिन है. It will eat you up.
All right. ठीक है. Let's keep the momentum going now. Uh,
Yeah.
Now, if I have to, now this is primarily for people who don't really understand the kind of effort that goes behind uh, for a frontline doctor, right? So for these frontline doctors and the frontline medical staff that are working towards it, how would you use a Bollywood dialogue or a Bollywood reference to try and explain what they are doing?
Uh, Frontline warriors are the real heroes, I believe. So वो तो ये कहेंगे कि एक बार जो मैंने कमिटमेंट कर दी तो फिर मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनता. They'll strive hard to save the patient.
आई थिंक ये सलमान खान ये वाला सुन के काफी काफी
सलमान
खुश होंगे कि
I
चलो
hope सुन ले.
हाँ आई रियली होप सो टू एंड आल्सो लाइक उसको लगेगा चलो एटलीस्ट डायलॉग का कुछ पॉजिटिव यूज तो हो रहा है वरना तो मूवी में हुआ खत्म हो गया ओके नाउ if we have to say issue an advisory ask people to protect themselves from covid stay at home like don't do things which will get them covid how will you use a
Right.
Bollywood reference to urge people to stay safe from covid
Uh, yeah, I would use that from Munna Bhai MBBS. So
okay
it's like घरे रेवानू,
हाँ
मास्क
जो-
पेरानू.
अच्छा
I don't know if I'm sounding right. घरे रेवानू, मास्क पेरानू, सैनिटाइज करवानू Majani life.
अच्छा
It will save you.
हाँ, कौन सा था वो उसका एक्चुअली डाला के जूस पीवानू मजा नहीं लाइफ।
Yeah, something like that.
अच्छा अच्छा वो वाला ठीक है। Okay, the final bit that I have for you is for for all for all the people like us who are trying to get our hands on the vaccine. What would
Yeah.
you how would you define this scenario? People who are trying to get a vaccine.
If you're trying to book a vaccine on Cowen website, it's a big task. It's a task in itself. तो
Right.
अगर मिल जाता है, अगर आपको स्लॉट मिल जाता है, if you get a slot, just remember कि तुमने इतनी शिद्दत से उसे पाने की कोशिश की है कि हर जर्रे ने उसे तुमसे मिलाने की साजिश की है. I think that goes with it.
Especially for all the people who actually end up getting it, because of all the people in my friend circle, the ones who have actually got it did not get it in the first attempt. Second, third, fourth
Oh.
attempt मार के crack
Yeah,
search
yeah,
करके कुछ ऐसे you have been vaccinated, right?
I am vaccinated. I appeal to everyone watching this. Please get vaccinated. It's not at all harmful. It's safe, and it will not protect you from infection or from COVID, but the severity of infection will definitely reduce a lot, and almost 100% effective in preventing death due to COVID. So almost death to nahi hogi COVID se.
So that's at least that's a very good message to end the meeting with. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vedant.
Yes.
इतने दिनों बाद मिले और मैंने इतने सारे क्वेश्चन तुमसे पूछ लिए। जबरदस्ती।
That was good. That was a very good session. And just a note from my side, it's a very good concept what you have started, Mihir, and best of luck for that.
Thanks, man.
And,
मैं actually बोलने ही वाला था that because you know that the reason I have this podcast is to support the fundraiser that I've started to help Oxygen Foundation. Now, what Oxygen is doing it is giving out uh, oxygen concentrators to everybody in India, the ones that need it, and they are raising
Right.
3.5 crores for this. I
Right.
think the last I checked, 2.5-ish crores have already been reached. So if you
Right.
could probably just give a shout out to people to ask them.
I am gonna myself end this session, go to the website, donate my share to the Oxygen Foundation, and whosoever is watching this, please go ahead, do that now. Every small amount matters. Somewhere down the line, you might save a life, and that's bigger than anything else.
All right. Coming from a doctor, I think it means a lot. You actually saved lives. So I think the least we could do it at least contribute to your mission. So thank you so much, Vedant. I understand I asked you a lot of questions, and some of them
that was a pleasure.
Probably cornered you a little, but thanks for being so sporting with it, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
But can I add one thing before we sign off?
Please.
So if you have recovered from COVID, if you're home, just take care of few symptoms which might indicate that you have a black lung fungus infection. So number one, there is pain in the teeth or the jaw area here, near the ear, or here. And there might be a blackish discoloration of your gums at times, localized. That might be one symptom. Secondly, there can be nose blockage of your nose, and there can be discharge which can be bloody or which can be black. Again, there can be pain over your sinus areas. This is your frontal sinus, this is your maxillary sinus. So there can be one-sided pain, a lot of headache, fever. And if unfortunately you don't notice all this, and if it reaches your eyes, then you can have double vision. Your eyes can propped out, they can come out a bit, bulging, and you can have difficulty in moving your eyes, and it might be a painful movement. So please take care of, look for all this, and if you find any of it, please go consult your ENT surgeon or any physician or an ophthalmologist, and get your intervention soon as you can.
All right. Thanks for the message, Vedant. And thanks for making sure that it stays within this conversation. Other conversation के बाद याद आता तो probably would have lost.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I wanted.
Thanks for those of you wondering, Vedant हमारे स्कूल का टॉपर हुआ करता था, so it shows.
No, हुआ करता था, so It's okay. It doesn't matter. Not a big deal.
All right. So thanks, man. I'll see you around. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.